What is up, heroes? This is Midnight Zero.
And Lizzie.
And welcome back to Let's Play Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. In the last episode, we let everyone catch up to us.
Yeah. Even though we were kind of failing at, like, what the game wanted us to do.
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like that happens to us pretty often.
Yeah.
Where, like, we're kind of, like, a couple steps ahead, so we're kind of struggling with what the game actually wants us to, like,
Yeah.
Although, last episode, it was mostly because we just didn't read the truth bullets well enough.
That's true.
But regardless, now we're going to start talking about the important stuff.
The important stuff.
Yeah.
Let's go.
The secrets of life.
Let's go.
Let's go?
Let's talk about the important stuff.
You want to go? You want to go right now?
Oh my god. What's the ultimate weapon that killed Nidai, and how'd they combine it with the pillar?
Huh? You still don't know what the ultimate weapon is yet? It's what I found at the octagon, you know. I feel like it's gotta be that hatch. I feel like it's gotta be.
I think it has to be.
When he says it like, it's that thing that I found, I feel like that's kind of like a bait to like the players, right? Because like they wouldn't know that like he found like that thing, right? Yeah, and it's not like poison would work, right?
Yeah.
What is the octagon? I haven't heard about that yet. Oh my, I can't believe I have to explain that now. And as long as you know what an octagon means, you can solve this simple mystery easily. What an octagon means. Are you kidding me right now?
Stop!
Are you kidding me right
now?
DR2. Danganronpa. That's
like a low hanging fruit.
Yeah, not a fan of that. If I recall, an octagon is a shape with 8 sides, right?
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. What?
Spitting fire.
Oh my goodness, I didn't expect you to know that. For a substitute reserve corps student, you're quite eligible.
Elementary schooler knows that.
Guys, like, these are high school students.
Yeah,
These are
literally, like
high school students.
Is.
We're talking about shapes.
Shapes.
Just
That was like so bad.
Just like, did I just get called out by Komaida?
Like, did I just get burned so hard?
I guess I should continue listening. Where is the place befitting of the name Octagon? Yeah, I mean, we're still with all the catch-up thing, right?
Yeah, I know, we're still...
The place befitting of the name Octagon, it's probably... here? Wouldn't it be in here? Hold up, we might have... Right, looks like I had a little misunderstanding. Wait a minute.
Okay, so...
I'm pretty sure this is the elevator.
If
That's
this is
the
the elevator,
block, right?
That means that...
It would be on the opposite side. It'd be on that side. Can we rotate? Can we rotate? No, we can't.
Can you just select like down here or something like that? Would that work?
Grape House to the octagon, but isn't the Grape House 6-sided?
Yeah.
Huh? I don't know exactly where we're supposed to...
I don't know where I'm supposed to click.
Right?
There's no octagons here.
I see no octagons.
I see no octagons.
I like click there and hope that it'd be like behind there. Wait, why is clicking there?
Yeah, oh, whatever.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it's like a corner, so like the octagon would have to like come out from like a corner of...
I don't like that placement.
I don't like that.
I don't like that placement
I wish
at all.
You could have rotated it.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Or I wish it was like a map of like Strawberry House and the Fun House or something. Or, and
yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. You're talking about the secret room surrounded by concrete in the depths of the final dead room. Why is that place the octagon?
You know how the 4-sided Strawberry House is on top of the 6-sided Grape House? Oh, so I guess it's not over them over. Oh.
Oh, okay. So we've got this all.
We had this
off.
wrong.
So it's not a regular octagon.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Okay, so that's very different.
Yeah, that is super different than what I thought it was before.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be some... Well, you guys heard what we thought. But to clarify again, we thought it was going to be a small octagon that would fit within the four-sided strawberry house that would be on top of the Monokuma archives. Yeah, directly on top of it.
I'm pretty sure the Monokuma archive was 8-sided.
Yeah.
You could correct me, it could have been like a hexagon, and I would just look really stupid now.
I mean, neither of us knew, so
yeah.
It's fine. But now it really just seems like it doesn't really matter where... Well, we don't really know where you drop down then, right?
Well, I think that's what this essentially says, is that you have a lot more freedom and where you can drop down.
No, I think there's only one hatch.
Oh, you're right.
Right? But we don't know exactly where that hatch leads.
Yeah, you're right.
And it doesn't have to be in the Monokuma archive because that's like what the room overlapped with.
Yeah,
I think that's what this means.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Now, because it's this, that makes sense as to why clicking the area
that we did
retroactively. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I do kind of like that they made it an irregular octagon. Like in retrospect, I think that's pretty cool because like we've been assuming that it's like it's like a typical like regular like rectangle, you know, like regular hexagon.
So it'd be a regular octagon.
But no, it's
Danganronpa really like messes with like
your expectations.
Yeah,
and,
like human tendency to kind of group things into categories and stuff like that. So
yeah,
that's cool.
It's kind of like if I told you like, think of a decagon, and you probably think of something that like looks like an octagon but like has like 10 sides. But like, what if I drew a star? Right? Like that's kind of like, that's like a cool like way to do that.
Yeah,
I like that. That's basically the gist of it.
Final Dead Room の奥にあるあの隠し部屋がオクタゴンの正体だったんだ。
The true identity of the octagon is that secret room in the depths of the final dead room. Oh, you know what? I feel like when we saw the octagon, we thought it was an octagon. It was like one large shape that we could have walked all the way around.
Yeah, but
I feel like if we walked to and saw dead ends, that would have been really helpful.
Yes, agreed.
I don't think we
could have.
I don't think we could have gone like past this window area.
Yeah.
And if we saw a dead end there, that would have been incredibly helpful.
Yes.
But
I'm wondering if we saw a dead end on the other side when we looked to
we did, but even then, that one dead end alone wouldn't confirm that it wasn't one large shape.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I feel like it would have been incredibly helpful. Maybe even too helpful, and that's why they didn't show us.
I agree.
But it is really difficult to have even the slightest inclination that it's not a regular octagon without that information, in my opinion. Regardless, the true identity of the octagon is that secret room in the depths of the final dead room. In actuality, that place contained various weapons.
Then the ultimate weapon was there too.
Come on, it's gonna be like, technically, yes.
Yeah.
That's a little different. I learned the true identity of the ultimate weapon at the octagon. Learned? The true identity of the ultimate weapon is the funhouse.
I think it's like being able to understand how the funhouse works and then being able to abuse it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah,
I think that's a pretty ultimate weapon.
Right. Because if you do understand how the elevators work and everything, you can probably set up a crime really easily. Yeah. Maybe not easily, but like so much more easily and more effectively.
And then also be able to throw people off.
Right. Which means the killer used the building structure as their weapon and killed Nidai. I'm trying to think a little bit more literally right now.
Yeah, agreed.
Is there a way that like the building structure itself could have killed Nidai? Right? I'm thinking like maybe Nidai was like in the tower where Great Tower typically is while someone else was in Strawberry Tower and then had him crushed. You know, something like that.
But then wouldn't have all the pillars been crushed?
Yeah, but no, like I'm not saying that like I think that, but like that's the kind of like very literal using the building structure as the weapon that I'm like trying to think of. Admittedly, I can't really think of anything.
Agreed.
Yeah, so I don't think it's like a very literal. Even though it's kind of coming off as like a literal. From what Komaida's saying, I don't think it's like supposed to be a very literal thing, right? Like me, the killer probably realized the secret of the funhouse from the scenery. And then thought of a way to kill, making use of the building structure. Who would be able to realize that? I don't think this is going to be something we can actually use to pin someone.
Yeah, but
because that's what we try to do with Soda, like every chapter.
Yeah, we're like, oh, you have to be a mechanics people to do something like that.
Right.
But
you'd have to be pretty smart.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, admittedly, that means Komaida and one other person would probably be able to figure this out, and that one person was faking it during that whole like discussion.
Yes.
I actually wouldn't be surprised if Komaida was intentionally not telling things to let the killer like flop around, like, you know, what's it called when a flail around? Flail. Yeah, that's what it is. I was thinking like when a fish.
Oh.
To try and like look for lies or people that are like intentionally avoiding like progressing it, but having feeling like they have to say something, you know.
The funhouse itself is the weapon, so they killed using the building structure?
That's why the killer tried to keep us from learning the mystery of the building. But more importantly, using the building itself as a weapon? Such a spectacular crime. Wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute. What if the wire was used to tie around the doorknob and then essentially hang Nidai? And that's why the head came off.
Maybe.
And do you think Nidai maybe tried to like hang on to the doorknob or something like that, and it came off because he like pulled so hard or tried to sustain his weight with it?
But then wouldn't the thing not have moved anyways because it doesn't move when there's people in?
After he potentially died? Oh,
well,
that's a fair point. He could have been put in sleep mode.
That's true.
He could have been put in sleep mode.
That's true.
And then maybe while he was in sleep mode, he was. Now I'm really liking this idea of like tying to like the doorknob, and then like the elevator dropping, and then like he essentially gets like lynched.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very literal use of like the building structure, right?
But how did they get to his goodnight button?
Yeah, I mean maybe they didn't need to. I mean, well, they probably did because they like broke into it, right? I don't exactly know.
And then maybe all of the crushing and stuff at the end was just to make it look like it wasn't using the building structure.
That's possible. Nidai could have also fallen on a pillar.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
That's also very
And that's
possible.
why the top of it has oil on it.
Oh, the very top, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think
we're onto something.
Yeah, I think we're onto something.
Oh man.
Dude, the thing is, the wire was, I remember the like loop was near his foot.
It was, but the loop also would have come loose.
Yeah, so
if the doorknob came off.
Wait, wasn't the wire wrapped around his body too?
Yes.
I still think he like was probably hung and then fell, and then maybe the falling is what killed him.
Well, the falling, no. I don't think the falling killed him. They determined that the head coming off is what killed him.
Oh,
Solda decided that.
Right.
So I think the hanging killed him, but they also did very specifically mention that the body parts come off
because of impact. Yeah.
So I think he did fall.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what caused all of that like extra little like damage and stuff.
And him probably hitting the pillar on the way down. And
that's what got
the blood and the pillar to fall over.
On that, the pillar fell over. That would also explain why they're on top, like the rubble's on top of him. Or no, it was underneath him.
Yeah.
Right? There would have been rubble on top of him if the pillar fell on him.
Yeah, but I think he like...
Yeah. So I'm saying that there isn't
Yeah.
It's like if he fell on it, it wouldn't be on top of it.
Yeah.
Also, if he hit the top of the pillar, the break in the pillar would be closer to the top half than the bottom half, and it would still fall over, I think.
Okay.
But I'm more concerned about the doorknob part, right?
Oh,
like how they got
doorknob?
Need Eye there, how he was kept up there with like potentially from the doorknob and the wire. You know what I mean? Because like maybe he was. No, the only thing I can think of him being like hung from is the doorknob itself. I feel like he tried to hang on to the doorknob.
Wait, wouldn't he have been... So, the murder happened in Strawberry Tower.
Yeah.
So what if he was hung from the door... So he could have been hung from that doorknob.
Yeah, the one that on the grape-looking door.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And that's...
But like the thing is, it looks like from the scratching on the doorknob and such that he tried to like grab onto it and probably... it like didn't carry his weight or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, so like it would make sense to say that he was like hung from that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Unless I was thinking, okay, here's another quick little thought. If he was hung from that, he could grab the doorknob to try to sustain his weight so that he wouldn't be like lynched. And then in doing so, it fell, and then he like then he would fall, but that wouldn't dislocate his head, and that wouldn't be the cause of death. Right? So that doesn't really. I
also don't know if we should make the assumption that the scratch marks necessarily means that he was grabbing onto it. It could have been something else. It could have just even.
It could have been the wire.
Yeah, the wire.
It could have been the wire itself. Yeah, that's fair. Do you think? Then here's another question: is actually, it wouldn't surprise me if Need Eye had this whole like wire like wrapped around him, particularly the head, but maybe his whole body to make sure that like it stays on him, right?
Yeah.
And then it's tied around the doorknob, and then the elevator is dropped. And so as that happens, there's some like tension on the doorknob itself, and that's probably what would scratch it.
Yeah.
And then under the weight of Need Eye, it would break off.
And then he would fall. And then he would die.
But that still doesn't explain the head popping off,
Yeah, the
really.
head popping off,
You know, because like if the head popped off, the rest of his body would fall.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's the big thing to me.
Do you want to keep going and see?
Oh man,
I feel like this is an interesting.
I feel like we're so close.
Yeah, I feel like that's yeah.
Oh man.
That seems to put a lot of pieces together and use the building structure.
Yeah, I agree. I think the key is the wire.
Agreed.
Okay.
まさに極上の凶器の名にふさわしいわ。
Okay. It truly deserves to be called the ultimate weapon. The funhouse is the true identity of the ultimate weapon? What does this mean?
What does it mean?
How did the killer use that to murder Need Eye? And who is the killer who did that?
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, we still need to figure out like how Need Eye was potentially put in sleep mode.
Yeah.
Right? Because it looked like it was forcibly done, and I feel like that would be necessary to set that up.
Agreed.
Right?
Otherwise, Need Eye is gonna beat you.
Yeah, actually. Oh, is this the intermission? Suspension? The class trial has been suspended. Why, hello there. I thought of a new bad word to call Monomi.
Oh my gosh, we were just talking the other day about how we heard the song.
How we haven't heard the song in like forever.
Whoa, I can already tell I will be pleased by this.
Then let me say it right away. I'm already used to... Oh.
I'm already used to insults and slander. There's no way I'll get hurt by a mere word.
Monomi, it's a serious... Stufatly? Huh?
I don't get it. That's much more straightforward than I expected. Stufatly, huh?
I feel like it's supposed to be like stuffing fat sort of thing.
Probably.
That's not it. That's not it at all. stupid, fat, and ugly.
Oh.
The perfect jet stream attack incorporating all three of these would be, ta-da, Stufatly. Interesting, I guess.
I'm still dancing the song. Oh, what? There's a fat hidden in there? Baka de busu da na.
Okay, everyone, all together now. Monomi is a serious Stufatly. Okay, so I think now... Oh, we're going to get a little clip from Monomi again? Okay, we'll save our progress. At this point, we should make guesses. This is something that's interesting. So we've talked a lot about how we think it's happened at this point.
Yes.
But who do we think could do that?
Yes.
It's the real question. I feel like more so than anything, that's going to come down to who could put Nidai in sleep mode.
Yes.
It looks like it was done forcibly.
Yes.
Which is worth noting. It looks like... And this person had to go through the final dead room.
Yes.
Meaning it's not Owari.
Yeah. I think people that it's obviously not Hinata. It's probably not, it's not Komaeda.
It's not Komaeda. It's not Owari.
It's not Owari. It's not Solda.
And it's not Solda.
Those are the only people we can probably confidently clear.
Yeah. So I don't think Solda would be intelligent enough or ballsy enough to fix the elevator and the button.
Yeah.
If he were the killer.
Yeah.
Like in an attempt to make him seem like he can't be the killer.
Especially the button.
Yeah.
Especially the button. Because
especially because of Nidai, requiring Nidai's parts too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, if he fixes the button, that was what revealed the whole, like, we are definitely wrong about how the funhouse works.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, so it's probably not Solda. It's probably not Owari, Hinata, Komaeda. Outside of that, can we really say very strongly that it's not...
Like,
I don't think it's Nanami at all.
I don't think it's Nanami either.
But I don't think we can pretty, like, confidently, like we can with those other characters,
yes, agreed.
say that it's not Nanami.
Yes.
As much as I don't think it is.
I was supposed to, yeah, agreed.
Right?
I still have my conspiracy theory that it's probably not going to be a girl because they need to even out the numbers.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, that's fair, but I don't want to rely on that.
I know, obviously, I know.
Right?
That's just like a game design kind of thing.
Yeah. So who do we have left? We have Sonya, we have Tanaka, and we have Kuzryu.
And Nanami.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we just talked about Nanami. So of those three, Sonya...
We're not missing anyone, right?
I feel like we're going to offend someone by forgetting their favorite character.
I know.
I think that's everyone.
What?
I think that's everyone.
I think that's everyone too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's everyone. Okay. So amongst those three, Kuzryu, Tanaka, and Sonya, I'm going to say Kuzryu.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Kuzryu.
The only thing is, like, Zuryu's, like, character development doesn't make it seem like he's set up to kill anyone right now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't think it could be real. But I don't know if it could be anyone else.
I don't know. Tanaka seems to be, like, pushing forward towards understanding the structure.
Agreed.
Right?
So it doesn't make sense that he would want to, like...
So it seems like Kuzryu is just kind of, like, asking questions and, like, confirming and, like, asking for, like, reaffirmment of, like, what's been said. But not really, like, adding a lot.
Yeah, not, like, actively being, like, this is a contradiction, we need to figure this out, like Tanaka did with the elevator.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's why I'm leaning towards Kuzryu. Kuzryu would be... Kuzuryu's also suspicious with, like, the 5:30 thing.
Yeah.
Right?
But it might be overly suspicious.
Yeah, it might be... We might be looking into it. I mean, at this point, it is still a guess. Right? Mm-hmm. And I don't think we really have anything else to go off of with, like, Tanaka and Sonya.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, at the end of the day, like, you can make your guess and I'll make my guess. I also think, like... Yeah, no, I think...
You think Kuzryu?
Yeah, I think Kuzryu. I'm not saying it confidently by any means, but
how
I
do you
feel
think
like
he could have gotten to the good night button?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Maybe
wouldn't be surprised.
He's really good at aiming and had, like, a gun and, like, shot, like, the back of his head. But that's like a
possible.
really that's like a far-fetched. That's a little far-fetched.
I don't know. It does look like Nidai was hit over the head with, like, a bat or something, which is very Yakuza.
Yeah.
And that could have been used to, like, maybe stun him or something like that. I don't know. I don't like.
He was so small though. I can't even think that he could, like, reach far enough to, like, hit him on the top of his Nidai on the top of his head.
But yeah, no, like I don't know. Like, I don't think Kuzuryu's character is being built up to be the murderer.
Agreed.
I totally agree with you there. But, like, admittedly, I don't see any character being built up to be the murderer.
That's true.
Right? Like,
that's true.
Imagine Sonya being the murderer.
Yeah.
Imagine Tanaka being the murderer.
Yeah.
Imagine Owari being the murderer. Imagine Nanami being the murderer.
Like no one fits.
No one's gonna fit as like the murderer image, right?
Maybe the hamsters got into Nidai's parts.
Maybe. But I don't know. Tanaka. I don't think it's Tanaka. Yeah, I feel like, to me at least, there is more to go with Kuzuryu than anyone else. So that's why I would guess Kuzuryu, but I'm still not confident.
Agreed.
Right.
And I honestly think that after the suspension is usually a turning point where we start getting more information
about the killer themselves.
Yeah, about the killer. It's like always like the beforehand, it's setting up everything. Yeah. Suspension, and then
it's like starting to focus on like who the killer is.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Sorry, we're on this like boring save screen forever talking.
Oops. No, I don't want to overwrite that. Because YouTube things, we don't want to overwrite save files in case the recording goes wrong. But yeah, we do get them one way.
Yay!
Okay, now we at least get his music in the background. But I don't really think there's much more to say, to be honest. Yeah, I think it's Kuzuryu.
But no confidence. Not no confidence.
Oh,
little.
So
confidence.
you also think it's Kuzuryu?
I don't like guessing. I don't like guessing with little confidence.
Gotta give the people what they want. That's a reference to Never Back Down, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. No, it's not a great movie, but it is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I still need to watch it. I actually don't know if I have a favorite movie of all time. I was thinking about it the other day. Anyways.
Who are you gonna label?
It's Sonya. I don't know. I'm gonna say it's no, because she's a girl, and that goes against what I was been saying this whole time. Should I just say it's Tanaka to like go against you?
Why would you would go against me just for the sake of going
against me? I just want to be like, who's right? I don't know. I'll agree with you. I think your logic makes the most sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though it's like very like wishy-washy logic.
It's
like,
I mean, like, it's logic.
Yeah.
But it's not like
founded in anything like, concrete.
Right? Like like when we were just like determining the structure of the house, it was like, okay, with this, like, we now know that like Strawberry House is above like Grape House. We don't know how they're related concretely yet.
Yeah.
So like we can make like deductions to like see like what we can confirm up until that point, and like we can conjecture based on like what we have. But like I very much work on like what can we confirm at this point.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so like yes, I have some like logic that like maybe points to like Kuzuryu being more suspicious than any other character, but like it's far from anything that I would say like, oh, we can like confirm this now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Monomi,
hello.
Please.
I hope your day is well.
That didn't sound very Monomi-like.
I know, it's because I was like, it was like a double thing where it was going to be like, I'm actually hoping that your day is well as Monomi wishing that your hope is
Guys,
your day is
I really want you to know that Lizzie hopes your day is well.
I hope your day is well.
Like, she really hopes your day is well.
I really, really hope so. And
she
if it's
really
almost the end of your day, or if it's already nighttime, I hope your night is going well.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're about to go to sleep, I hope tomorrow goes well. I'm trying to force myself to be more energetic, or else my mental state won't be able to keep up. Oh, my heart's thumping like crazy. I might as well have a laid-back so what attitude and go ahead with high energy. Yahoo! But be careful that your batteries don't run out for various reasons. I feel like this is like a reference to like your computer.
Nidai. I feel like this is a reference to Nidai.
Oh. I thought it was a reference to like a computer. Like, don't
like
make sure your computer's well charged.
Like, gotta keep playing Danganronpa 2, and if you enjoy it so much, you can buy another copy of it and give it to your friend. Do you remember that?
Yeah. And just like I say each time, don't forget to save frequently.
Unless you're playing it for YouTube. Okay. Back to the trial. Look at all these portraits with the X's.
I know. I actually think it's really funny that they have the portraits at the height of the
heights of the characters. Yeah, no, I agree with that, actually. I don't think they did that in the first game.
I don't think so either.
But no, it is kind of sad. I was thinking about that. It's like they zoom in on like Nanami in particular, like Sonya, and it's like, man, they're like really surrounded by a lot of portraits.
Portraits, yeah.
So like, remember like Koizumi?
I know. The only people, well, there's like this stream of like 3 people, and then like everyone else I think is just surrounded by portraits.
Yeah. Just like really sad, because like you look at these characters and it's like, oh, I miss the Sayonji face.
I miss Ibuki so much, guys.
I miss Ibuki, like, I miss all the characters except for Hanamura.
I miss everyone except for Hanamura, yeah, honestly, yeah. Alright, well, let's keep going. I never expected the funhouse itself to be the ultimate weapon. Oh well, let's just press on ahead. Is it really alright to accept the situation so easily?
We talked about this with Owari before,
yeah.
But it is kind of, it's a sign of like mental fortitude and like,
yeah.
I guess just intelligence or like understanding in like an argument or something like that. Being able to accept new ideas if they are proven to be more like apt.
Yeah, if they're more logically found, if they make a lot more sense than just being able to like be like, okay, you know what? What you said makes more sense than I agree
basically
with you.
To not be stubborn enough to, despite any evidence against it, to like stick with your own position, right?
I mean, that's not what's important. The thing that's important, really important, is...
I love that. Mekanidai-kun.
I know, I was like, that's so cute. The killer who used the building structure. Like, who's Mekanidai-kun's murderer?
Nice, but also, yeah, we were so right about the whole, like, it does kind of shift to...
Yeah, it shifts to, like, who's a murderer.
But is it really okay to believe the building is the weapon? Komaeda said it, you know? You know, something else we haven't thought about in a while is, does this mean Komaeda has sided with our hope?
I think so.
I think so too. But, you gotta wonder how he made that decision.
Yeah.
Right?
Because it seems like he really likes this murderer. He was like, wow, like that was so smart to use the funhouse's structure.
Yeah. And so I feel like Komaeda probably already knows who the murderer is.
Yeah,
but like
honestly.
you gotta wonder like how they came to that decision, like or how he came to that decision like early on. And like when was like the hope deciding moment, right? Like what revealed it, right? That's pretty cool. There's no way I lie, it's such an important moment. I don't want to die either. What happened to the baka who kept saying how much they didn't mind dying? Oh, I love this that he's gonna be like, but then I realized that I am your hope.
Yeah.
You know? He's right. There was a time when I thought I could become a stepping stone for your hopes, but... I will sincerely retract that mark.
Retract?
I'm disappointed too, you know. If this was a murder for the sake of hope, I'd happily sacrifice myself. So that's probably the deciding factor. He decided that this wasn't a murder for hope. It's probably a murder for one's own like survival, like hunger, like that sort of thing. You say such falsehoods. Falsehoods. Per usual. There is no such thing as murder for the sake of hope. Murder is simply murder.
I don't think we've ever seen that.
Yeah, we have.
Oh, we have.
I remember because you very distinctly were like, "Oh, look at
did I comment on the
and
scarf?
then I
okay, yeah.
too far.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, man, I love that pattern on a scarf.
I wonder if there's anything actually interesting to it. It kind of looks like a snowflake on one end.
Yeah.
But forcibly sacrificing others for one's own desires, even when as diabolical as I would avoid such actions. Cue Sonia. Oh. So.
It's fine. Let's just leave him alone and find out who killed Coach Nidai as fast as we can. Just so you know, it's not like I'm getting hungry or anything, you know? Ori, you're drooling waterfalls.
Come on, as usual, I can't tell what he's thinking. I have no idea if he's serious or not. That was accident.
It's okay. I don't remember what she said, but it was like, anyways, if we're gonna be talking about
if
the
the killer
structure
used like
anyways,
the building structure,
what?
like I think it was like, anyways, like, Oh, now it like disappeared from my memory too.
I think it's like, anyways, if we're talking about the building structure, why don't we think about how they could have used it as a weapon to kill Nidai or something like that.
Cool. How they killed Nidai.
その死因からはっきりさせた方がいいかもね。そうすれば殺害方法も見えてくるんじゃないかな。
It might be better if we clarify the cause of death first, don't you think?
Nidai's cause of death, huh? Yeah, I mean, according to Solda, like, he was horribly damaged as if he was beaten senseless with a blunt object. This is cool. I want to see this again. So where is the wire? It looks like there are two different wires.
Yeah.
Right?
There's one that's like attached to his leg, and then there's one that's wrapping around him.
Yeah, and the one that has like the little like noose at the end is wrapped around his leg. But what's probably worth noting though too is that that leg isn't attached.
It's not detached.
Right.
Yes.
So like, but you'd think that it probably would have.
The doorknob probably broke off under the weight. Like a doorknob is not made to sustain a weight of a giant metal human.
Yeah. No, that's true.
So I wouldn't be surprised as the platform falls away, the doorknob just snaps off and then he falls and then that's how he dies.
Yeah. Does that mean, do you think he hit his head on the pillar?
Maybe.
If he was hanging upside down like that, that would probably be feasible.
Yeah, I think that's probably part of it. If not,
that seems pretty it seems pretty risky though.
Well, not really. Well,
given that, think about the door's location relative to the pillars. The door is in between the two pillars. To hang from the door and then expect or rather rely on him to fall on his head on a pillar that's, you know, probably a good 4 or 5 feet maybe, you know, to like one side or the other is pretty shaky.
Even then, I feel like maybe,
do you think
like
even if he just fell on his head,
the
like
pillar,
regardless?
he would have just like fallen to the ground, and that may have been a significant enough fall for him to die.
You think?
I don't know.
I don't know, right?
He handled it. He got a bazooka shot at him and survived. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Nidai is tough.
Yeah, I don't know about that. You know what I mean?
Like the only thing I could think of is like after he falls, the killer comes back and then really finishes the job.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, I remember maybe someone was saying like it seemed like he was beaten senseless like so horribly, to like, and I was saying maybe something like
maybe after.
Yeah, I was like he fell and then like he wanted to or like the killer like wanted to make sure that like Nidai was really dead, and so they just like went for it and like dismantled everything or something like that.
That's fair. Yeah, because I was gonna say like if he fell on his head, like how does that explain his head coming off?
Yeah.
Because that's not a limb that would come off from impact.
No.
Right?
No.
Like, because that's what's the cause of death.
Yeah.
So maybe the killer put him in sleep mode, tied him up, and then hung him from the doorknob by his leg. Went back to the elevator pretty much, had him fall, and then he was... You know, I'm just thinking though, like, if you have Nidai all tied up and ready to hang from a doorknob, why do you need to drop him on the floor to remove his head?
Oh, yeah.
You know? Like,
I guess maybe if they're like trying to create a scene in which it made it seem like the hammer killed him or like the pillar killed him or something. Or like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but even then, like, I don't know, just like push the pillar over or something like that. Like, even then,
that
like,
would make it really obvious.
Yeah, but you also can't, again, we can't even really rely on him hitting the pillar.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Yeah, because I felt like the like noose would have to be used to like
remove his head.
Right, but it doesn't seem like that's the case.
Agreed.
And so if the killer did remove the head in that sort of a way, why would there be a need to have Nidai fall?
Yeah,
that way, right?
At all. Yeah.
And did the killer know that the doorknob would break? Probably.
Otherwise, why would he
actually? Here's the thing. Nidai tried to open the door, right?
Not necessarily.
He tried at one point, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah? Do you think Nidai applied more force than he weighs? I feel like if Nidai were trying to open a door, he would pull harder than his weight.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So if that's the case, if Nidai pulled harder than he weighs, then his weight wouldn't break the doorknob.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So can we actually count on him just hanging there as being the reason the doorknob breaks?
Yeah. Can you apply more force onto the object anyway?
If you're just hanging from it?
Or no. Like if you're just a really, really strong person, can you apply more force to a doorknob than you weigh?
If you're a robot, probably. If you're a machine, probably.
Okay.
Because like,
I just don't know the physics of it. Like I'm thinking.
I mean, like I'm thinking about it, and like, I can pull. Like if I were to take like a hand and like really pull as hard as I could, like I could probably get to 75% or so of my weight.
Really?
Yeah. Probably like 60-75% of my weight. And I'm not a robot.
Such a strong person. Sorry, I couldn't help but think that.
Buff boys. No. But like you see what I'm saying, right? And I'm like a human.
Yeah.
So like a really, really strong robot is obviously probably dense and weighs a lot more than me. Hopefully. Question mark. But would also probably be able to pull so much harder. And I think that information is pretty important in determining whether or not we can actually rely on his weight alone breaking the doorknob.
But didn't also Nanami say like stop doing that? It's like not gonna be.
Yeah, so I don't think he tried with all he did.
Yeah.
But we still don't know exactly like to what extent he did.
But I think it's like maybe that was implying that if he really tried, he could have broken it.
Okay.
Because he was about to.
Even then, like if he was hanging and like tried to do like a pull up to like, you know, get up on the doorknob, that's still at most his weight.
Yeah.
Right? Or maybe a little bit more than his weight actually. But I feel like that introduces a little bit of like vagueness into what we can actually count on him like breaking the doorknob with.
Yeah.
Given that it's wire though too, that would explain the scratches. Because like if it were just like rope, it wouldn't really like scratch the doorknob, but because it's wire, it would. Given the like wide range of scratching, it might indicate that there was some like wriggling around or something like that.
But that wouldn't really make sense. What if it was like the wire was wrapped around the doorknob?
A few times?
Yeah.
That's possible too.
That also could have given the scratches because we're assuming that Nidai's in sleep mode.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have been able to do anything.
Yeah, that's true. But like also then like, if that's the case, like then there's almost no chance he would have hit a pillar.
Oh, that's true.
Right?
He would have just fallen straight down.
Yeah.
Guys.
You know?
Yeah.
I
mean, I guess I kind of want to look at the orientation of the pillars and whether or not one of the edges of the top part of the pillar is like large enough that it goes over the doorknob.
From memory, I don't think so. But like also,
but like Nidai's also really wide.
Yeah. But also, you're thinking that they're even on the same like. If you like, think from a bird's eye perspective, this is a circle.
Yeah.
So if you look from like a bird's eye perspective and you think of it as like an XY coordinate, the Y coordinates aren't even necessarily the same. Or like imagine you walk in the room to get the orientation right, and then like start looking at a bird's eye perspective. The Y coordinate of the door and the pillars aren't necessarily the same either. So it's not like it's just a flat wall where there's a door and then there are two pillars on the side.
Right, because it's
like
circular.
The pillars would be like maybe a few feet in front as well.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's a circle. So like that also makes it difficult for if someone is hanging from the doorknob to fall on the pillar. So I don't know exactly.
We're so detailed.
I know.
We would make such good murderers.
That's probably not something we want to say. But yeah, no, I feel like those are some pretty important details, though, right?
Agreed.
Okay. We should
move on.
We should move on. He was horribly damaged as if he was beaten senseless with a blunt object. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if there were a bat, and that's in particular what kind of tells me about like his head. But if he was beat with a blunt object, it wouldn't be a kill that utilized the building's structure. So what was Nidai's cause of death that also falling?
Probably falling.
Wow. Wow, they really jumped the gun with that.
Yeah, they just really went for it.
That's it. I think he might have died from falling. Died from falling? if the funhouse's secret is that it's a structure where both towers and houses are vertically connected.
だったら犯人はその高さを利用して2台を墜落死させたんじゃないか?
Then the killer made use of its height and caused Nidai to die from falling.
突き落としたってことか? どっから突き落としたんだよ?
Are you saying they pushed him off? Where'd they push him off from?
いや、そこまではちょっとまだ.
That, I don't know yet.
方法もわからずに適当なことを言うな.
Don't just make things up when you don't know the method. Yeah, I feel like he had to have been hung from the
doorknob.
The doorknob, probably by his leg
Yeah.
at some point. Maybe he wasn't in sleep mode then.
He wasn't?
Yeah, maybe he wasn't in sleep mode. Maybe he was woken up so that he would squirm.
But he doesn't wake up except for an alarm.
Oh. Do you think hitting the sleep mode button?
Oh! His alarm was set at 7:30, so maybe the killer reset his alarm so that he wouldn't wake up the whole time.
That's fair.
Yeah. But that
killer,
doesn't support
how would the
your-
killer reset the alarm?
I have no idea.
Right? Darn it.
Darn.
I feel like we're so close. Don't just make things up when you don't know the method.
だいたいあの建物のどこに墜落死させられるような場所があるのだ?
Where in that building would you even be able to push someone off in the first place?
いや、タワーだったら可能かもしんねえぞ.
It might be possible in the tower.
フロアが1階のマスコットタワーにあるときに4階のストロベリータワーから突き落とせばいいんだ.
And now we're going to show that that's not possible.
Yeah, because you can't open the
You
door.
can't open the door.
You could push him off the first floor when the elevator's on the first floor.
エレベーターの仕組みを忘れたのか? フロアが1階にあるときに4階の扉は開かねえんだぞ.
Did you forget how the elevator functions? When it's on the first floor, the door on the fourth floor won't open.
墜落死など見当違いも甚だしい。地獄の豪華に焼かれるがいい。
Whoa, saying he died from falling is truly incorrect. You should burn in the flames of hell. This is kind of suspicious.
Yeah.
俺の勘はビンビン来てるんだけどな.
But my gut is going crazy right now.
If Nidai died from falling, where did the killer shove Nidai from? He didn't shove him.
Yeah.
If I'm going to reach the truth behind this, I need to solve that mystery next. Alright, well, let's solve that mystery next.
In the next episode.
This was a pretty fruitful episode.
Yeah, we
I
had a
feel like
lot of speculation in this
A lot
episode.
of speculation. I think it turned out really well. I think we're so close.
I think we're close.
I think we're really close. I think we need to figure out how the button was pressed and when the button was pressed.
Oh, the button at the for Grape House?
No. Nidai's button.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that is going to be super important because whether or not he was asleep affects the effectiveness and like what we can expect from him falling, right? Yeah, no, wait, it's really cool. I'm liking the case so far. I like where it's going. I'm actually really excited to see what's going on next.
Yeah, me too.
Every time we do this, well, almost every time. Some of the times we do this to you guys with these cliffhangers, we do to ourselves.
Yeah.
So we kind of. I know you guys seem like you're agonizing pain every time we do these cliffhangers, but we do kind of get it a bit. Anyways, again, a lot of speculation. Do not confirm.
Obviously.
Do not confirm. Save all of your comments about the speculation, whether it's a good job or you sound super smart or like, oh, you're on the right path. Save it for later, please.
Yeah, save it for when we're like, oh man, remember back at the beginning of the trial when you said this? I was like, oh my gosh,
I was like cheering for you, yay, yeah.
Or like, oh my gosh, you guys are so dumb.
Yeah, okay. So, anyways, we'll see you guys next episode. But until then, this is Midnight Zero.
And Lizzie.
And this mission is complete.